These past 3 months have been interesting, to say the least. After spending a crazy time out in Nigeria, things just happened in a way I didn't expect it to happen. I was in the most financially unstable position of my life, as well as in the middle of dropping a podcast. I decided it was time to take a break, so I headed out west. When you first arrive at Treasure Cove, you're greeted with luxury. A resort to match some of the best in the country, beach houses that cost more than you'll ever obtain through normal means, and sound of waves crashing against the rocks. Laguna Beach is a place to be if you want to experience some of the best of the best. That day, my friends and I decided to head out after crazy months for all of us. We just wanted to get away from the day-to-day bullshit that all of us have been experiencing. I modeled for my first clothing company, and I had a good time. And as the sun kept setting, and as we kept shooting the shit, the day seemed to be ending perfectly. Until I saw this girl walking down the beach with 3 of her friends.
I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me.
The moment I went up to her, it felt like the beginning of a romance song. I was talking to her and her friend because 2 of her other friends had gone out to do God knows what. And when I came up, there was something about her that just caught my eye. Maybe it was her tattoo that she had on her waist, or the fact that you can tell that she took really good care of herself. Probably her vibe, her energy, whatever it was, something just told me to go up to her, even while she was still with one of her friends. As we began to talk, I could tell that she had a kind soul. She was attentive, very open to what I had to say, and just had a good vibe to her overall. Her friend was cool as well, and I think the conversation that we had was great, to say the least. I managed to get both their IGs, and I left. I went back to give them some mics, and all was well. The rest of the night, I was talking to both of them, and I was having a good time. The next morning, her friend had ghosted me, and it was just her and I.
I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. The start of nothing.
And as the week went on, we had made plans to do something that Saturday. And honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I was excited as fuck.
I'm home. I just got home right now, but I was down for tomorrow, but I don't know. I think it's kind of... I didn't know, like, you were into both me and my friend. I know, like, you hit her up. I just think it's kind of weird that you hit both of us up, you know, like, saying the same thing. But, yeah, like, thanks for, like, you know, the good conversation. But it's okay. Maybe we'll see each other soon.
Honestly, after hearing that, I was defeated. Time after time, whenever I would try to pursue anything that I really wanted in terms of relationships, it would always just crumble to pieces. I tried to talk to her, telling her that I didn't even fucking care about her friend like that. I just wanted her, but in the end, there was no hope. She left me on scene, and that Saturday, I was just rotting away in my bed.
Escúchame, aunque me duele el alma, yo necesito hablarte.
I was in bed all day. I just kept thinking to myself, why the fuck did I text her friend? Why didn't I just say that I had a good time meeting her and have that be it? Why the fuck did I text her the next morning? That morning I was in bed, just scrolling through TikTok, completing other tasks that I had to do that day, and honestly, just feeling sorry for myself. I wasn't able to think of any way to get out of it, and honestly, that whole entire 6 hours I was laying in my bed, I just felt like fucking shit. You know, the normal advice is to not dwell in the past, as you're gonna be putting yourself in situations that you can't really change. Sometimes, though, all you can really do is go back and just wonder what you could have done in that scenario, how you could have said this, and maybe things might have changed. Your mind just gets crowded with these thoughts of regret, and all you're trying to do is you're trying to suppress it. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you until you can't escape from it anymore. You try to find solutions through any means. Some might smoke cigarettes, some might hit the gym, some will scroll mindlessly.
I found my solution in the mountains.
Lake Arrowhead has probably some of the most scenic areas you can find on this side of SoCal. You drive along the mountainside overlooking all of San Bernardino with stops along the way for you to really take in the scenery. As you get closer to the peak, you get closer to civilization as well. Cabins filled the roadsides, as well as shops, gas stations, and other miscellaneous sights to see. As I managed to drive up to the lake, all around me were people with their families, friends, or their girlfriends/boyfriends, just enjoying their time together. As I started my trek towards the lake, I just couldn't help but think to myself about all of those moments that I could have done something different. Those moments of, why the fuck didn't I just do what I was supposed to do and only talk to her? I was feeling down, and honestly, all I wanted to do was just lay in the snow and fucking smoke cigarettes until I froze.
But the real one, just like you, just like me.
As the sun kept setting and setting, all I was doing was going through my pack of cigarettes and really just trying to understand what the fuck was going through my mind. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, no shit, it was my fault. The thing that had taken over me was
Lust.
Amor mío, eres el ser que amo sin fin.
if my lust hadn't taken over my desires, I probably would have been with this girl right now. I probably would have been having the time of my life, getting to know her. Who knows? Like I said, you can't really do much in the present of what you could have done in the past. It is what it is. Move on. Do I wish I hadn't texted her friend? Of course I do. Of course I wish I didn't text her friend. But that's not what happened. I fucked and it is what it is. All I really want to say is the actions that you choose have major consequences to the way that your life can play out. Every time you look back and realize what you could have done differently, you're robbing yourself of what you can do now to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. As the weeks had gone by and I realized that there was more that I could have done to just prevent what had happened, I realized that all you can really do is learn from those mistakes. As much as I still want to be able to talk to this girl, I understand what I did was on me. And there's not really anyone that you can blame. And that's that. You know what they say, man. Hindsight's 20/20. Fuck, man. Oh, God. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. Text me back. You have my number. Anyway.
Soy el fuego que arde tu